Why can't you smell your own body odor? You've worn the same skin your entire life. Every sweat gland, every pore, every scent your body has ever produced, all of it has surrounded you since the day you were born. And yet somehow, you are the one person on earth who cannot smell it. Everyone around you can. A stranger sitting next to you on a bus can pick up a scent you have never once noticed on yourself. A friend can tell instantly when you skipped a shower. But you, the person who has lived inside that body every single second, remain completely unaware. How is that even possible? The answer isn't hygiene. It isn't denial. It's something built directly into how your brain processes smell. And the story behind it goes back far deeper than deodorant. Your nose was never designed to notice what stays the same. It was designed to notice what changes. Scientists call this olfactory adaptation. The moment a scent becomes constant in your environment, your brain quietly starts filtering it out. Not because the smell disappears, but because your brain decides it no longer matters. And this happens fast. Some studies show it can take only a few minutes for a strong scent to fade from conscious awareness entirely. Think about walking into your own home. To you, it smells like nothing. But walk into a friend's home for the first time, and their space has an immediate distinct scent, one they probably can't smell at all themselves. The same thing happens with perfume, with your car, with your pillow, and the same thing happens with you. Your body produces odor constantly, every hour, every day for your entire life. There has never been a moment where that scent was new information to your brain. So your brain simply stopped listening a long time ago. But here's where the mystery deepens. Why would evolution build a sense that quits working on the one thing it should matter most? To understand that, you have to go back further than modern humans entirely. Smell is one of the oldest senses in the animal kingdom. Long before humans existed, before primates existed, before most complex brains existed, creatures were using scent to survive. And when our own ancestors emerged, smell wasn't a minor sense hiding in the background. It was often the difference between living and dying. Early humans needed to detect spoiled food before it poisoned them. They needed to catch the scent of smoke before flames reached their camp. They needed to notice a predator's presence on the wind long before they could see it moving through the trees. And unlike sight or sound, smell has a direct shortcut into the emotional core of the brain. Most senses get filtered and processed before triggering a reaction. Smell skips that step. It travels straight into the limbic system, the ancient region tied to fear, memory, and instinct. That's why a single scent can trigger a memory or a wave of panic faster than almost anything else. For our ancestors, that speed could save a life. But if smell was that important for survival, it also had to be efficient. A nose constantly overwhelmed by the same background smells would be useless in an emergency. Imagine trying to detect a distant predator's scent if your brain was still busy processing the smell of your own skin from an hour ago. So evolution made a trade. Anything unchanging, anything already confirmed to be safe, gets pushed into the background. Anything new gets flagged immediately. This is why you can walk into a room and immediately smell gas, or smoke, or spoiled milk, things that don't belong. But you will never smell the thing that has belonged to you since birth, your own body odor. There's another layer to this, one that gets even stranger. While your body odor is invisible to you, it isn't meaningless to other people. Far from it. Researchers studying human scent have found that body odor carries hidden biological information. It can reveal traces of a person's immune system, specifically genes tied to something called the major histocompatibility complex, a set of genes responsible for detecting threats inside the body. Some studies suggest people are subconsciously drawn to the scent of others whose immune genes differ from their own, a pattern that may help produce offspring with stronger, more varied immune defenses. In other words, the exact scent you can't perceive might be quietly communicating your biology to everyone around you. It goes further. In one striking study, researchers collected sweat samples from people who had just watched something calming, and separately from people who had just watched something frightening. When other participants smelled the fear sweat samples, without knowing anything about them, their faces changed. Expressions of unease, a flicker of vigilance. Something ancient in their brain recognized danger in a scent alone. Humans have been silently reading each other's emotional and biological state through smell for our entire existence as a species. Long before language, long before facial expressions were ever analyzed or understood, scent was already saying things words hadn't been invented for yet. So while you remain blind to your own signal, everyone around you may be quietly reading it. This creates a strange kind of one-way mirror. You broadcast information about your health, your stress, even your genetic compatibility, constantly, involuntarily, and you have absolutely no way to perceive any of it yourself. And it isn't just body odor that disappears from your awareness. Anything that surrounds you long enough eventually fades from conscious smell. Your workplace, your favorite candle, even a partner you've lived beside for years. The brain isn't being lazy. It's following the same ancient rule it has followed since before we were even human. Stop wasting attention on what hasn't changed. Stay alert for what has. There's an odd twist here too. Unlike your eyes or your ears, which recover almost instantly after adapting to a stimulus, smell doesn't reset quickly. Some receptors in your nose essentially power down after prolonged exposure, And getting that sensitivity back can take far longer than blinking your eyes or turning your head away from a loud noise. Smell doesn't just fade fast, it stays faded, which means the version of yourself that you smell, or rather, don't smell, might be permanently locked out of your own perception unless something interrupts it. Stepping outside, changing environments, coming home after time away. Suddenly, for a brief window, the scent that has surrounded you your entire life becomes noticeable again, sharp and unfamiliar, before your brain quietly files it away as normal once more. So the next time someone mentions a smell you can't detect on yourself, remember what's actually happening. It isn't a flaw. It isn't something broken in you. It's a survival mechanism older than civilization, older than language, older than the modern human brain itself, still quietly running in the background of every single day. Your ancestors needed a nose built to detect danger, not to monitor themselves. And thousands of generations later, you inherited that exact same wiring, sitting right beneath your own eyes, working exactly as it was built to work. You were never meant to smell yourself. You were built to smell everything else.